Hey, I'm Kev Hillman. Welcome to the second race in Indonesia for round 2 of the MX2 World Championship. McDonald really did struggle in the first race. There was pace on the table. Unfortunately, there was also lots of bike parts and him on the floor as well at times. So we're going to increase the gear ratio, or maybe just keep it short, shall we? No, let's increase the gear ratio. Make that a bit longer. Hopefully that'll help out of the corners. Having the short shift all the time. And hopefully not having the battle traction all the time as well. Make sure accelerator mapping, that is modular. And that is not going to be aggressive in these conditions. As if it's aggressive, we'll probably fall out of every corner. So that's the only change we're making to the setup. Hopefully they work. So here's Hillman on the outside, revving it up. Got in first. And we go. That's not too bad a getaway as he tries to dive down the inside of a couple of riders. And once again, we've got 30 minutes plus 2 laps of treacherous wet conditions and of idiots just ramming us. There's all using the billboard there just to stay on the track. As you can see, it's very congested in the midfield. Hillman approaching the top 10. Up into 8th, ahead of Olsen. Ahead of the German as well, ahead of Lawrence, Osland as well. Just look how sideways Hillman is as he gets past the Russian. He's right behind the TM. Bernardini. Right into the TM of Bernardini, should I say. He's got Garcia and Covington in front, battling for second. We're behind, some good battles. And off the corner, look at that. So much easier for Hillman in this race. Despite this track being very rutted up after the first race, it does actually look like it's been ridden on, which is pretty nice to see. Let's see if we can survive almost 20 laps of this. There's a couple of riders down in front. Into the top 5 is Hillman. Oh, runs wide though. That allows Hunter Lawrence down the inside. Straying. Up into 5th. But not for long. Look at Hillman immediately back down the inside. And he's right behind Seawer as well. Could this be Hillman announcing his proper comeback to this class? As Seawer down. Goes down the inside of Bogus as well for the podium places. Hillman battling for a podium, just like he should have been in Qatar. This time he makes it through into 3rd. Top 2 already racing away. There's Covington was one of those riders down, so was that Olsen or Garcia as well, should I say. As we go on to the first proper lap then. And look at Hillman. Long gearing definitely is working out. Or longer gearing, should we say. And also a race of being used to these conditions now. You should be better. There's Covington making moves behind. You have to watch out for the American, this, that. And Garcia as well. Those two seem to be attached at the hip already in this race. He's behind Olsen, his friend from Qatar. This could be a tasty battle if they get into each other. But Bogart's down the inside of Hillman. So is Garcia. Hillman on the outside, being pushed wide as well. Almost pushed down by those 3 idiots in front. So from 3rd to 6th. Just seeing as he's trying to look into make an assault in 2nd. Everyone's just barged down the inside of Hillman. And he's going to do the same to Hunter Lawrence. Not impressed at all with the riding of everyone else. As he's pushed him wide as well, Hillman. So he goes down the inside of Seawer. Takes back that 6th place. Because pace-wise, he feels he can be right up there, but everyone's just pushing him off course at the moment on this lap. Wants to show that he can be right up there battling for a podium. As he goes into the tight corner from hell, gets into Bogarts. And the Dutchman just a bit rude rejoining. So has Hillman been this lap. Tries to dive down the inside of Bogarts again. As you can see, 48.8's been the fastest lap. Hillman down the into the bogies. Into 5th, is he? The Dutchman, he is. Good move. Now can he chase this top 3 position? Let's see if he get caught up this lap, or if he can actually make some progress. So that is such a tough corner. The right hand, you don't really see it in these conditions. That kind of inside just sticking out, being annoying. As Olsen is being caught by Covington and Garcia after their little get together on the opening lap. And here comes Hillman charging on his machine. But it's definitely better with this long gear, and that seems to be a major difference here. You can be a bit more aggressive with the throttle. Being a bit more aggressive with the throttle well leads to that times. It's not running right. What is that from Bogie? It's absolutely somersaulted down the inside. Feels like he's braking in the dry. Where did he find that braking power from? So just as I was talking about Hillman perhaps catching 3rd and 4th, there comes Bogie just to remind him that, hey, I'm still here, Dad. Don't be thinking about that podium position there. What is the Dutchman doing? That was absolutely stupid. Deserved to fall down there for whatever he's tempting. But for Hillman, top 5 in the 2nd race again. That sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? So you have to be careful that inside. It may be quicker, especially in the dry, but in these wet conditions, just can't take full advantage of that. It's so slippery, that clay. Well, so is most of the circuit, to be fair, very slippery. He gets on the power over these jumps. You can see Hillman also keeping it in higher gearing in a couple of these corners, just to help with the traction out the corners, be as smooth as possible. I said Olson's being caught by Garcia and Covington. He still seems to have a decent gap there in front. And the lead is just, Jonas is just gone. There's Hillman through the left. As Lawrence and Bogies are doing battle. Covington 5.3 ahead. That's the time that Hillman has got to remember every lap, that gap to Covington. See if it does eventually come down. So we go out the right. You can see just not as sideways out that corner now. And a couple of these corners not having to brake at all, can just use a bit of the engine braking. As we go into this incredibly tricky sector. Oh, that's how you want to take it every time though. Nice and smooth from Hillman through there. You can see not having to battle that rear as much. Being nice and soft. The brakes with the accelerator, not leaning too much. Just so that he's down. And what the hell is that? Rejoins and gets immediately pushed in the opposite direction. Wonderful stuff there. So he's down to 9th then. After a fall. And aggressively gets past the Frenchman and Lawrence immediately. Runs a bit wide. Lawrence back by. But Hillman on the outside. Feels comfortable on the outside as well. Look at that. So much more speed than Lawrence. He still wants to battle back though. Hillman having none of it though. Finally gets ahead of the Australian. Back into 7th then. So let's see how long it takes for him to get back into 5th. He's a bit off the line there. And here comes Lawrence. You can see getting pushed wide. You just have to wait to get back on the throttle as well. Let's get out of here, Frenchman. That's the issue with all of these opponents. They're just on one line. So in slippery conditions like this, or when they're absolute dickheads like that, There's nothing he can do. Absolutely nothing. So Hillman's down to 12 through no fault of his own on that occasion. Just a Frenchman just punted him out for no reason. As he's behind the Brit in 11th on the Husqvarna. And what the hell? Come on! Are you absolutely kidding? Osland down, the Hillman lands on him and he's down. So he's down to 12 once again with no crash of his own there. It feels like the ghosting's just not actually ghosting. Like, what's the point in it if you can still hit the objects? I'm not sure. Mods don't understand what ghosting is. He's going to the left. So for Hillman, around further the way through, it was a good first 7 minutes, and then it just turned into a shit show the last couple of laps. That last lap, especially, no fault of his own, really. Previous to that, maybe. But now he's catching up to the Swede in front. He's get out of the corner, that's better. But he's got to push like a hell now to get a top 5. This is the guy we're perhaps talking about, maybe pushing for a podium this race after this first couple of laps. Now look where he is. One mistake and it just goes from bad to worse. It's cautions breed cautions, as they normally say in racing. Well, crash leads to crashes, it seems like, at the moment for Hillman. Just needs a couple of laps, get back in that top 10, and just ride very solidly as he's caught up to the Swede. You see can bait any air over that jump. Oh, that's a novel way of perhaps going around that section, and the Swede is down again. Oh, we've got a Frenchman behind. And Hillman, you can see 10th right in front. Go for the final corner. Look at that, 49 from Hillman. That's more like it that time-wise. Does show he's got top pace around this course. That was a bit weird there, going over that jump. Bit too much brake maybe from Hillman. As we approach the halfway mark of this race, he's got the Brit just in front. This feels like a couple of laps ago. Oh, and so much more confident that left-hander than the early laps as well. You're seeing that Kane speed through the corner. Setting it up nicely. Taking a very wide line, that left-hander somehow working out though. And you see the Brit, part of a big group here, battling for 8th, it looks like. Hillman charging it down the inside. He's learned from a couple other riders how to do that into that corner. We go over the jump. Oh, Hillman's slightly wide. They can get on the power nice and early, even in these conditions. So he's behind Leiber now and definitely in the top 10. And all over the back of Leiber. But no room there in those couple called this incredibly tight one line. Finally got some confidence in these wet conditions. And again, it just seems to be a matter of gearing. Just changing that gearing from the first race seems to have helped. He sets the fastest lap, 48.1. Almost into the 47s from Hillman. And tries to make the move around the outside for 9th. Oh, Leiber not having it. Remember, one line is this course. Oh, these riders. And Hillman gets it up into 9th for an aggressive manoeuvre. You can see slightly offline for him. It's not too bad though. As he's right into the back of Hunter Lawrence. He's already had some battling with the Australian this race. He's about to get elbows out again at the halfway mark. 4-8. Dives down the inside. Uses that banking to get a good run off the corner. And hold on, 2-8. And now he's got a Frenchman in front, a long-time rival at this level. For Hillman. Battled with him for a title as well, as he covers the inside into the right. He's hurt from all those occasions, but then Lawrence is just pushing him wide through the fast right this time. So Hillman does it to Lawrence back. Oh, he's down. Of course, Hillman goes down when he does that manoeuvre. Not his opponents, just Hillman. It seems like that applies to. So Jossie's making good work into the top 10. Goes down and just takes out the Brit. That is one way of making a move. You just RKO your opponent with your bike. Apparently that's illegal though. Stewards are not investigating a wheel to the face of someone. And Hillman can just continue in the second half of this race in the top 10. So let's see how quickly it takes him to get past Lawrence again, as he's got 9th and 8th right in front. Dancing with the rear through these corners, for every corner really. He's able to take that slightly wider line as well through that right-hander and through this right. Doesn't really lose too much speed. He sets up the move down the inside of Leiber, up into 9th. Great manoeuvre. Now he's got Lawrence in front. You can still see a top 5 right in front, and just pushes Lawrence wide. That's for pushing him wide in the right-hander. There's Hillman, once he's cleared this lot. No, 48.1. He's fastest guy in the field speed. But Lawrence just pushing him wide again and again. Hillman does it back. These two really do not like each other, do they? But this time, and that later, Hillman survives. He's going to the right. Lawrence did try to wipe him out there. Didn't quite work for the Australian. But now he's 7 seconds back of 7th. So that gap's increased by a few seconds. But Hillman just about stays up. Going to be an alternate line in that section, that very tricky section. I'd love to ride this course in the dry. This course would be fun in the dry, but in the wet, not as much. But I guess that's the same for every course in the wet. So there you go, a 48 from Hillman again. Even passing a couple of riders. Shows he's got 47 speed perhaps in him. And he's definitely at 1 with this bike in these conditions now. And all we need to do is do some gear ratio changing. Just make them a bit longer. Shame we didn't realise it for the first race. I mean, it's pretty obvious, slippery conditions, you don't want a short gear ratio. You want a gear ratio that keeps the bike in a nice comfortable band, not too high revs, not too low revs. Makes it the most rideable. But look as he's munching into this lead in front. For 7th and 6th, they do battle. Just 3.8 back. And less than a lap ago at 7 seconds. Look at that. Look at that, just sideways through corners and he doesn't even care. We go for the right. And again, a bit sideways through that. But knows when to pick up the throttle, when to straighten up that bike now. Around this course. Would have thought so after almost an hour of being round it. And he has cut that gap in half in front to 3.4 seconds. So there we go. Setting up that corner better. As he go into the left. Accelerate out the corner. Into the final corner. Take it in second. And across the line for a 47.7. There it is from Hillman.
Told you he had a 47 in him. Second quicker than his previous lap. So these guys must be doing 150s, 51s. Very slow that times in comparison. Hillman's matching the leaders. He's the fastest guy on this course at the moment. It seems like by a country mile as well. As this race just gets longer, gets more into it, we've just got just over a third remaining. Hillman gets stronger, gets faster, gets quicker. Hopefully he's wiser as well, battling these guys in front. We can make it through quite quickly into the top 5. You can see 7th and 6th not far behind 5th. So it was almost over the back of Patrell now. The Frenchman, the long-time rider in this class. A long-time rival of Hillman as well. We go through the right. And a massive jump. Back on the power as early as he can over this jump. And then into this right left. And oh, they're getting into each other in front. Hillman tries to take advantage. But no room at the end there. Then into the left, down the inside of the Frenchman. Oh, he just gives him the room. What's he doing there? Oh, and then pushes him wide in the final corner. That's perhaps right. There's Hillman with another 48. Despite this tough battling here at the end of the lap. As he saw 10th was down, Liber. And now Hillman just eases the Frenchman wide and takes his line away. As he's behind Bogues, I believe that is in front, the Dutchman. Here goes Hillman. 4th, down the inside. Might not be in a good position heading into the left. Oh, he will be. Look how confident he is compared to Bogues. Compared to everyone else. Now he's chasing down 5th. As he go through the left, that wasn't the best exit from the corner though. As we've got Cumberton Garcia in front. We've got Sierra in 5th. But not by much. Look at that for Hillman. He definitely is a dog with a bone at the moment. And he's not using the rear brake as much this race as well. You saw that in the first race, trying to use that rear brake at the back end round. He's trying to use as less brake as he can as possible around this course now, in this race. No, barely touching the main brake into a couple of corners. Just enough to get it slowed down. It's all about throttle control. It's all about lines as well. There's all Frenchman down from 8th. Look at Hillman through the left. Hard on the power. Felt like the rear was going there. Same out the final corner. He sets another 47. If he didn't mess up that final corner, that would have been the new fastest lap. Could have been a low 47. You want the power just right. But here he goes through the left. And then through the right. Get hard on that power. You can definitely feel a bit more of a flow this time around. Being this quick as well. There is a good flow around this circuit, even in these conditions. As he's all over the back of Siwa now, number 91. Here comes 629 down the inside, just bashing his way by. Has he got a smooth exit though? Can he block the inside of the next right? He can. He's got Covington 14.9 ahead though. So anything better than 5th is unlikely. But at least he's back in the top 5. Back where he should be. This isn't quite the big coming out party for Hillman back in the MX2 class, but this is not a bad performance again from him in the second race. Not many falls either in these slippy conditions. Might be his best race yet. Not many drinks for the fans if you're doing the drinking game as well. With fools. Your liver is saved this race with just over 5 minutes remaining. So it's only been a handful. 4 at most. So go through the final corners. Oh, Garcia and Olsen battling for second now. And that's a no fastest out from Hillman, 47.6. Maybe he's not giving up on catching Covington just yet. He's been a consistent 47.48 rider. These last 5-6 laps. Last 10 minutes. Since his last fall. Just shows you it's not how you fall, it's how you get up. Hillman has got up superbly this race. You can see not even braking into that left-hander now. Gets it all slowed down through that right hand and setting it up. And ripping that bike round. Let's get out of the left, into the next right. 12.8 behind Covington. St. Thomas is too far ahead. As for Hillman, it's maybe a glimpse of the future. This race, having the pace, with less mistakes hopefully. I mean, he didn't have those crazy couple of that, so he had his mistake, then got taken out a few times. Or got caught up in unfortunate incidents. Then he could be right out there with the podium getters at least. Maybe have the pace to challenge Jonas for the victory. But it seems like the Latvian's winning in this second race. With 5 laps to go. Seems about right. Goes into the final corner. Balancing that throttle. Another fastest lap. A 46.9. He's finding lap time every lap. You go through the left, look at that slide into the corner. Incredibly impressive riding from Hillman now. The king is back. He wants his crown again. Not just an MX2 but an MXGP. The 450 champ in Supercross. 250 East champ. Should have been the 250 West champ as well, but just missed out on that. In 3 very close championships. Didn't have that close. MXGP, I remember. Or MX2, but maybe his battles in America prepared him here. It's a new generation of rider. Couple he's fought with before, like Covington, like Patrell, like Jonas as well. When you've got Olsen, Garcia, couple of new guys to fight. You can see 12.9 back of Covington. You can see so much less braking. So smooth as well. It's not like we're on an ice rink anymore. It's like we're on an ice rink which has been rutted for the bike. Let's go for the final corner. Oh, that's a poor that time for Hillman. It's a 48. You can see that battle for second just in front. Compton right behind. Oh, Hillman down. Hillman down from 5th. Had to take one for the road, of course. Another fault. But he's got a big enough gap behind that he holds on to 5th. So that's just in 3-4 laps he built that gap up. Over Seward. That he can fall, pick up the bike and then get going again and still hold his position. But apparently he's 8 seconds behind Covington. I'm not sure that's correct. Maybe if he didn't fall he would have been. Or maybe he got a bit distracted seeing that battle for second as well, well in front. With Compton right behind with the popcorn. It's the American. In fact, you can maybe glance that to the right hand side there over the jumps off through the left now. In this section, as he's 15.6 behind Compton, that full costs 5 seconds maybe. There's a rider in front, is there? Need to go through the right-hander with 3 laps to go, I think. Or was it 4? Depends where the leader is. Jonas, where he is on the course. 17.9 behind Covington now. Bit off the line there, Hillman, through that section. But that next right hand is so quick. There's all Bogus down from 7th. Might look like some just ice in the next corner, but that is a pretty quick corner. And yeah, that did cost Hillman around 5 seconds like that. So I won't be distracted by that battle for second now. And it is 3 laps to go. And hopefully for Hillman, this is the closer he is to the lead as well. I mean, he almost got lapped in the first race. Should have got lapped in the first race. He totally fell to pieces in that race. But good to see he just come back stronger in this second race. Once again. I hope that's not the pattern for the season going forward. You know, being poor in the first race, then strong in the second. We need 2 consistent races after this start if Hillman wants to challenge for the title. Let's go up the right-hander. 15 seconds behind Covington. Bit wide through the left. And you've got to be careful of the next left as well. Just that gradient forces you down off the course. Look out through the right as well, full sideways from Hillman. Surprised the crowd aren't getting enthusiastic about that. But I'm guessing they're more interested about staying dry as Jonas crosses the line. So Hillman around 30 seconds back of Jonas. I think that is the closest he's been to the lead instead of being a minute 30 behind like he was in the first race. Look at that, he's made a minute in one race. Probably win by 30 seconds if we had a third race then. So he heads into the final couple corners. All Bogus and the Frenchman still battling hard for 7th. And there's Hillman back into the 48s immediately after that errant lap. Shows you class is Burnman. And a multiple champ. Also shows he's back on form as well with this performance. In the second half of this race especially, all these 47s and 48s, even that 46 he's snuck in as well. Showing that he's pretty good in the wet conditions, even though he didn't have to experience it too much in America. Well, his riders don't experience it too much anyway. From the experience of Hillman, it seems. But if there are more wet races, then watch out. You can see 3rd, 4th in front over that jump. 13.1 behind Covington now. Sort of a bit wide for the left. Let's set just have a straighter run into the next left. Or next right, should we say. We'll go over the jump, a bit of a wider line this time. As Jonas is on his last lap now, is the leader. 12.9 behind Covington. Hillman really is gaining on these last couple of laps on the American. I think even without that fall, he wouldn't have been in striking range heading onto the final lap, but it's good to know. He had much better pace than the riders who were battling for a podium. Even the leader as well at times. There's another 48 in the bank. Possibly at least half the race laps have been in the 48s, which is very encouraging. Just got to cut out the other half of the laps, apart from the odd 47 and 46. But those 153s on all the falls, 158 I think he had one lap as well. Because you just lose 10 seconds in one lap, and then you're spending 5, 6, 7 laps gaining all that lost time back. That's the fine line in these conditions, in motocross in general as well, from having falls. Let's get out the left-hander. Into the right. So a bit too much there, did Hillman, as he's 12 seconds back of Covington. So without that fall, without that one lap, he's gained around 10 seconds on Covington since passing Seawer. So he definitely does have some good pace then, Hillman. As he just got a few corners to go. As he approaches his jump, Jonas crosses the line as your victor here in Indonesia Race 2. And Garcia is actually lapping the Belgian there. As he's battling for second with Olsen. Looks like Covington as well getting in on the lapping. Fortunately for Hillman, he's not as well. Oh, he is actually. He's got past the Japanese rider. He's probably had another fall. As Hillman crosses the line. 150 on the final lap, but it doesn't matter. It's another top 5. So for Jonas won by 12 seconds ahead of Garcia, who's 3 seconds ahead of Olsen, coming to just a couple of seconds further back. Then Hillman just 31 seconds back, 4 seconds ahead of Seawer. And then we've got Patriel, Bogues, Muse, Hunter Lawrence rounding out the top 10. And unfortunately, Japanese rider right at the back as 4 riders got that. And so for the Belgium, it pays off. Olsen, you won today, but who knows, you'll win next time. Neutral. Patrick Hardzo is still pushing it to him. If he takes this up, he might take Olsen's place. I'll approve of that. He's our friend, the French rival. You know how to handle the situation. Just want to attack you. Win as Olsen did today. I'll just be neutral. So Grand Prix results. Overall, Hillman in the top 10, 21 points. 24 less than Olsen, who wins it overall ahead of Garcia by a single point. Jonas in third ahead of Covington, and Seawer rounds out the top 5 as he's gone through the rest of the field. Everyone scored at least 2 points. So in the championship, Jonas leads on 93 points, 11 ahead of Garcia. Hillman, as you can see, in 11th, 39 points, 5 off the top 10, which Muse holds. As behind him, we've got Bernardini, Sterry, and right at the back, who have we've got? We've got Ivanov, last of the point scorers in 28th with 2 points. You've got the South African on the KTM in at last. But I don't think we've seen them yet, as lots of objectives of achieve, race bonus, position, whole shot not, technical sponsor objective. We didn't perform 6 scrubs. Well, why would we in those conditions? And then fame increase, only 30. So overall, not quite the weekend we wanted. We didn't get the sponsor objective. We didn't get the technical objective. Overall, we got to finish at least 12th in the championship, so ahead of that at least. Heading to Argentina, fast track, a tight, twisty, uphill, undulating track where Hillman's gone very well in the past. So what do you do next time? Thanks for watching, and we'll find out then.